So we've got an awesome video for you today. I got the unique opportunity to travel to Portland, Oregon to the Danner Boot Factory. They're one of our sponsors, and build my own one-off custom boot, like design it, pick the materials, and build it. So let's get started. The boot that I decided to base my design off of is one that I've always wanted, the Danner Mountain Light. So let's start customizing. Look at all these laces. What? This is one of the options, by the way. In my head right now, I want this to like stand out and be awesome as like my custom boot. Yeah. But I don't want to make it so crazy that I can't wear them with any other clothes. So I do have the option here to make Grinch boots, but I'm gonna pass. Yeah. Thank you though. I appreciate it. So it was a really hard decision, but I think I'm gonna go with this leather for the main boot and something a little different as an accent for the backstay. They got a lot of options, and I can't wait to see this come together. So I've got the outside of the boot picked. Now we're gonna pick the lining leather, which is the inside thinner leather of the boot.
Yes, so we have this chocolatey brown one here, which I think would look really good with the pebbled dark brown you picked for the vamp of the boot.
So we're holding up some of this stuff, and the guys are getting a little judgy on my choices. Maybe these two clash. Do they clash? They probably do. Let me pick something else for that. So I've got the leather sections picked out for the boot, but I'm not done. Next, I gotta go over and pick out hardware. Abby is gonna have me pick out this hardware next, and she's calling it the jewelry of the boot, which it kind of is. What are my options?
So you have a few different options here as far as colors of the hardware. So you could do, I like to grab some of the leather of what it's gonna be next to see what fits best, but we have just some classic kind of black, gunmetal colors, chrome. I really like these.
I'm kind of drawn to these brass ones immediately.
We just did those on a custom pair with a red leather. They looked so good.
Okay, let me check those.
I think if we test them next to the leathers we're gonna do.
So that's what it would look like.
And then
pretty sweet.
Fun too.
That's definitely a safer option right there.
Yeah.
But this
you're going custom.
This could go really good or really bad. I don't know which. So this is definitely a lot more of an involved process than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, I don't make boots. I build houses. I'm a little nervous, but I'm hoping that everything comes together and looks awesome, especially for the sake of this video. If you watch to the end and my boot is horrible, I'm sorry. So the last thing for here is I'm going to pick out the liners, which are these, I assume. So if you didn't know it, Danner was one of the first boot companies, or maybe the first boot company to put a Gore-Tex, which is a waterproof liner, in a boot. Pretty great idea. I'm getting the whole camera crew and the rest of the Danner crew to help me make this decision.
One more curveball right at the end. I don't know. What?
Gloves, check. So I wasn't expecting this, but I'm going to get to help make the boots, I guess?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to put the embossing on. What are these for exactly? I guess I'll find out. Oh, for heat.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like a race car driver.
First.
All right. Wall's getting me lined up here.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what to do though.
Yeah, and then you line up, and after that you put your hand on the button.
Okay, the buttons are in here.
Yeah.
So that's making sure that my hands are away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And put the hand out. Yeah.
I did it better that time, she said. All right, they're trusting me a little more here to place my own piece.
Yeah.
So if this thing ends up crooked, it's my own fault on this boot.
No, this one no. Yeah.
Okay, I like
just
that.
Line up the
Oh, line up the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. Okay. You can do.
Okay. Got to get it to kind of just stay somehow.
Yeah.
All right, you like it? These bigger pieces are definitely harder to do. Okay, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay, yes, do it. Okay, here we go. Nice. So evidently I got the A-team, Miguel, working on my own custom boot. Been here for 36 years.
46.
Oh, 46 years. Oh my gosh. Check it out. It's coming together. Looks good. It looks good. I'm actually really happy with the choices so far. Look at his boots.
I know, look at that.
Dude, he's got full custom. What size are those?
11.
Oh,
they
11, yeah.
They fit you.
They'd probably fit me.
Yeah.
So this part of the factory is like a mini boot factory just for short runs or custom boots that they're working on this right now. And so it's really cool to get these things stitched together right in front of me and see how it all happens. For a second, I thought they were gonna ask me to do the stitching. I was like, no thanks. That's what we got so far. Doesn't look like a boot yet, but it's looking good. The colors look awesome. Nice work.
Yes.
So next they're gonna sew the liner in here. It's got the Gore-Tex part on it and starting to look more like a boot here pretty quick. Okay, so we've got the liner stitched in, the tongue is stitched in, it's all flipped right side out. I'm gonna hand it back off for the next step. So we're gonna mold the back of the boot to the right shape like that.
We worry about how many seconds.
Okay, so we're gonna wait 50 seconds and they're gonna throw it on a cold mold to set the shape. Wow. It takes a lot of machinery to build one boot. Like it's a lot of different steps, a lot of different processes. So the importance of that process is to get the back of the boot perfectly in line with the front of the boot. They use leather to protect the emblem from getting messed up or any part of this leather as they're pressing it. And this is the part that'll get stitched to the lower on the boot. It's really hard to work with people looking over your shoulder. She's doing a good job. So now the tongue feels cushiony and it's got this sort of embossed look to it. And she did a really nice job. So one thing I'm just realizing here is I don't know if I told you guys my boot size. I guess you already knew.
10 and a half.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's my size.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why Pam reached out to you ahead of time.
Okay. Pam did reach out. I just like watching her do that and I was like, oh crap, what size are these? All right, we're good.
Yes.
It's all good. Miguel's waiting patiently here to let this glue tack. He said he doesn't cut corners. That's what he told me. So he said if it goes too early, it really won't work right. So waiting patiently. Appreciate that.
Patient man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the black clutter lift.
Okay.
That's the olive clutter lift in your hand.
Okay. Now I just got to stare at it for a minute. I'm thinking black looks a little classier and that timeless, and I might get that crazy color pop out of some crazy laces like my friend Miguel has, these orange. So yeah, I think let's go black.
Good choice.
Thank you. So is the glue ready?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. He actually said he's not patient at all. It was killing him to have to wait, but he just knew the consequences of doing it too soon.
You think I'm crazy, but not crazy.
You're gonna add just a little bit that's still wet so where you can move it just a little bit before it completely tacks.
That's right.
We do similar things in construction to give you a chance to, mainly in concrete work, give you a chance to move things around before it's fully set. Yeah, so that actually came into play right here because he can peel this back
Yep.
and get it adjusted perfect before he puts the hammer down right here. Pro tip. I'll remember that next time I make some boots.
Okay.
What's cool is he actually knew the glue was ready just by looking at it. And that's something that only comes with experience. I can tell you from building houses, and if someone misses a nail on a piece of sheathing, I can hear it, that it doesn't hit the framing. So I think it's a very similar thing, just knowing by looking or hearing if something's wrong or something needs to be adjusted. It's crazy you can do that without scuffing the leather. Yeah, I know. I would scuff the side of that thing so bad, so quick. So you invented this.
Yeah.
It's like a giant channel lock
About
on a
$100
stand.
for the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's on every press,
Yeah,
every activator.
It's pretty sweet. It's my favorite tool I saw in here today. Just walked in like he owned the place, jumping in on the standard assembly line. He's gonna do the trim. After 46 years, I think he does own the place. Wow, that's awesome.
Every place has its thing, and everything has its place. Right?
I want to record everything he says right now. I think we picked the color, but I'm gonna let him decide on the stitch in here. Yeah, I can trust you.
We're going to connect this color with this,
Okay.
so it seals the boot around. This over here, okay. We're going to connect this color on the boot with this thread.
Okay, done. Okay, that's cool.
That's a clutch, just like in a car.
Okay.
And it does wonderful work, and it works excellent.
And it's a crazy looking machine. It just looks like a steampunk torture device or something. I don't know. Am I wrong? Look at this thing.
It used to run on steam.
Yeah, I mean, it quite literally is. I'm convinced it probably took him 10 years just to figure out how to thread this machine. It went through like 10 different places to get it like set up and ready to go. It worked. We're finally putting the sole on to kind of have a look at it here. It was an awesome choice on the stitching. I'm getting pretty excited, man. Look at that thing. Dang. So that's like a router bit in there. You see the bit? It's like a really aggressive, insane router bit.
Yep.
So I think this is the last step before the laces is the scouring or sander to the layperson. So you're basically going to take that rough cut on the outside of the rubber, make it smooth, perfectly round, and he's going to do that by hand and by eye right now. I like that move. He's just like taking a little off and then looking at the whole outline of the reveal of the boot. We do that with a lot of our casings to make sure everything looks right by eye. It's a pretty smooth move. Nice work. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a real craftsman. I appreciate that. Okay. It's time to pick the actual laces. These are just for production purposes.
Unless you want that lace.
No, I need a lace that goes all the way up. So let's go over here to the wall. Okay, so I finally made it back from Portland, and it took 2 extra days. I got stranded in the Dallas airport for 2 nights because of flight cancellations, along with a bunch of other people that were losing their minds, me included. So glad to be back, and we finally got the boot. It came in the mail from Danner. So let me present to you the Danner Kurf 28713. We did get to name the boot, and if you don't know, a kerf is the material that a saw blade takes out of a piece of wood when you cut it. And the 28713 is the zip code where Jamie and I built our first house. So got to name the boot, and I just want to thank Danner. I love it, and it was a really cool experience to get to go build it and pick all the materials. I don't think a lot of people in their lifetime get to do anything like that, so I feel very privileged, and I love how it turned out, and I can't wait to wear these for like a lifetime. So thank you again. Thanks for watching, and thanks for building with us today. We'll see you on the next one.